Hello, this is Chas with Heirloom Leaves and Seeds, and today I wanted to talk about the zinnias that I will be growing for 2025. Now, this year was a fun year. I tried Florets Originals this year, and it was a very fun experience that I will never forget. It was so exciting seeing what she was coming up with and then buying it and then growing them out this year. So later on, I will talk about which ones from the Floret Originals that I really liked, but then I focused on those, so there was some of my usual favorites that I didn't grow, and boy did I miss some of those. I've got a list. I made this list and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 different zinnia series that I will be growing for next year. So let's start with number 7. So number 7 on my list, and this is always on my list, is something new. Every year I try to grow one new zinnia variety, one I have never grown before but have thought about. And I just like to always try something new every year because you never know if that will end up being one of your favorites or one of your go-tos. So for the something new on my list, I've been dabbling with the idea of Persian carpet, or I think it's called uproar. Uproar rose was the type I was thinking of. So I don't know. It will all come down to when I place the order. It's usually a last minute decision. So that is number 7. Number 6 on my list is the originals from Floret. Now I will still be growing those next year. This year I grew Victorian Wedding, Unicorn Mix, Precious Metals, Golden Hour, the Dawn Creek Dawn Mix, and Alpenglow. Better write that down. So of these, my favorites was the Unicorn Mix. It was the most interesting and it gave me a nice color range. Now, I was a little disappointed because some of the flowers were not that bright because I grow for the farmer's market and usually bright colors sell the best. And they were very pastel, but it's a mix. So maybe I just didn't get the right seeds in there. I don't know. But Unicorn Mix, even without the bright colors, was still my favorite. And then the next on my list that was my favorite was the Dawn Creek Dawn Mix. Now, I did not get the Dawn Creek Pink or the Dawn Creek Peach, and there are several different other specific colors, but I got the mix, and most of mine turned out to be pink or a peachy color, but I really liked those as well. Third, probably Precious Metals would be my third, and then Victorian Wedding. And to be honest, I can't really tell from the others because I didn't label them very well, and they all grew together in a row, and my labels, it was a mess. My labels faded, the ones that I did label. So I will definitely be doing better labeling things. Now, I say this every year. I still haven't found a really good way. They fade, they get broke, they rot. Hopefully this year or next year will be better. All right, number 5 on my list is the peppermint stick zinnia. If you've watched my other videos, you know I go on and on about the peppermint stick zinnia. It's just very unique, it's different, and if you showed me like 30 new zinnia varieties, I would pick the weirdest, most unique without fail. That's what I like. Now, this is mostly for me. I will put some of those in there in the farmer's market, but I know not everybody has my taste. So I love the peppermint stick zinnias, but I just grow a couple plants and I throw them in the bouquets here and there because not everybody likes different. All right, number 4 on my list is from the Queen series or the Queenie series, whatever you call it. Now, the Queen series has been one of my favorites, and this is one of the varieties that I grew for my daughter's wedding, and they're just beautiful. And I love all of them. There's not one that I'm like, This year I only grew the Queen Red Lime, and I've really missed the other ones because there is also the Lime with Blush, the Queen Lime Orange, and I'm really thinking I saw this picture. It had Queen Red Lime with Queen Lime, and it looks so pretty. Just the lime. It's a bright, it contrasts with the Queen Red Lime. It's a lot of queen and lime in this. I hope I'm not confusing you. But yeah, the Queen Red Lime with just the Queen Lime. It looked so pretty. So once again, I was just saying how horrible I am at labeling things. When I grew these for my daughter's wedding, there was no labeling involved. Or if I did, it was haphazard. And so I have struggled every year because I grew all these from the Queen series, but then I don't know which one was which. Now, the Queen Red Lime is very obvious. So would the lime. But like the blush, the orange, and the peach, those were all kind of similar. So that was kind of hard to tell which one was which. So I need to do better. So I'm not sure which of those I'm gonna grow because I can't remember. And I didn't know when I was growing them. I thought it would be really easy to tell them apart, so I didn't even really worry about it. But once they all grew, I was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea which ones was which. So better labeling. If anybody has good ideas for how to label things that stays throughout the year, please put that in the comment section. Number 3 on my list is the Oklahoma series. Now, I love these guys because they are on the smaller size. Let's see, they're probably about that big, but they have these stacked petals and they look like little macaroons and they are so cute. And I love that size. I love the stacked flowers. The Oklahoma series, they come in several colors. I have tried the Oklahoma salmon, Oklahoma ivory, and then Oklahoma yellow. Now, a plant or two would be good just to put some bright stems in occasionally, but I don't need a row of it. Just a couple plants is plenty. I've talked about this before, but yellow is a flower that not a lot of people really like. So I keep that to a minimum. A little here and there is okay, but it's not going to be the focus of a bouquet I make. I really like the pink colors. I like the ivory. They're just a really good, dependable flower, and I really like the Oklahoma series. All right, number 2 on my list is the Benary's Giant. Now, I love these plants for their really big blooms. A lot of times the flowers on these are this big. I mean, they're huge. And when they are that size, that can be your focal flower in a bouquet. And if you are making a bouquet at home, they're just beautiful to group together or be the focal flower of your bouquet. They're just so gorgeous, and I like them because they have nice long stems. There's not a ton of leaves that branch off. Usually you're just getting like 6 leaves off of a stem. So I really like those. I will probably pick something in the pink and possibly the white. I'm still playing around with the colors I want of each variety. Yes, Venere's Giant will definitely be on my list. I grew just a couple, 6 to 8 plants this year, and I have used practically every stem, and I didn't realize how much I was going to miss them. Next year, they're definitely going to be on the top of my list. I want a nice long full row of Venere's Giant. Okay, has anybody guessed what my #1 grow for next year is? This is one that I did not grow this year, and I don't know how many times I was like, I wish I had a, or I just thought while I was out picking or out tending to the garden, I would be like, oh, I miss not having a Cinderella peach. Oh, I just said it. #1 is Cinderella peach. Look at this. Look at that. Gorgeous. Why I did not grow them this year, I have no idea, because they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. To me, you cannot top this flower. Now, there is an issue with the Cinderella series, and that is if you live in a hot and humid climate. So sometimes if a, a plant from the Cinderella series, if it gets stressed out, it will cause that flower to revert back to being a single. So sometimes the doubles, if you live in a hot and humid place like me in Tennessee, sometimes those flowers will be like 80 to 90% singles. But let me tell you, when you get one of those beautiful doubles, it's it's worth it just for that 10%. I'm going to experiment with growing them maybe in dappled shade, just to keep them a little bit more on the cool side, just to help maybe with that stress of the heat and humidity here in Tennessee. So there's my #1. In my opinion, you just can't get any better than that. It's just my favorite flower from a zinnia. The Cinderella peach is my favorite just because I love that tuft center and it's stacked and the color of Cinderella peach. So I like everything about it. So yeah, tell me what your favorite zinnia is and why. I would love to hear that. So here's my list, and I look forward to narrowing down the colors this year and getting that order in this fall. And I hope you guys found this interesting, and maybe you want to try one of these this year. Well, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.